And we're going to take the walls from this to looking like this. How's it going, everybody? It's Ian with the Seek First Adventure here, and we're working on the Airstream again. And today we're going to be working on getting rid of all of that lovely vinyl that they put on the interior aluminum skins. So this one, everything's original. It's got the vinyl from 1976. I've already worked on a little bit of it, and I'm getting pretty good results with what I'm using here. So what you're going to need, go to Home Depot, that's where I got all my stuff, is Jasco Premium Paint and Epoxy Remover. This is what's going to strip and loosen up the vinyl and actually remove the adhesive from the vinyl to pull it off. And then you're going to use Goof Off. I need to get a little bit bigger can. I'm going to need more of this, come to find out. And that is what's going to remove the adhesive that's left once you take off the vinyl. And then Clean Strip Odorless Mineral Spirits. That's going to clean up what's left of the residue and just give it a nice look. And then WD-40 is going to be the last step, and that will actually kind of almost polish and remove any of the remaining residue and remove the remnants of the chemicals that we used for the first few steps. You're going to need a little paintbrush. You can get a couple of these from Home Depot. Just get the cheap ones. You don't want to destroy any expensive ones. I'm using these little plastic paint pails. You may want to get something potentially metal because they start melting when I'm using the Jasco. And then I got a little squirt bottle that I'm going to put the mineral spirits in to help apply, and then paper towels to wipe stuff. So let's get started. Alright, so we're on to the first step. With this, you're going to fill up the little paint container, whatever you're going to use, with Jasco. Wear gloves. This stuff is brutal. Yesterday, I was working on it. I don't know if you can see that, but it burned my skin when I got some on there. I didn't wash it off quick. So you'll definitely feel it when it gets on you. This stuff's pretty intense. So you fill it up, and basically with your brush, just start brushing it on vinyl. You don't have to. If there was paint on it before, it may make the process take a little bit longer. This had been painted, pretty poor paint job, but you know. And so it's got to eat through the paint first and then get into the vinyl, so it took a little bit longer. Also, the recommendations for the Jasco say, you know, 60 to 80 degree weather. I'm here in Texas in the summer. Luckily today's a little cooler, so it's only 95, but that's going to slow the process down because this stuff works better whenever it sits on it and is able to really penetrate. Whenever it dries out really fast, it's hard for it to really work as effectively, so you kind of have to keep adding coats and just keep at it a little bit longer if you have, you know, wind going on that's going to dry it out, or if it's ridiculously hot like it is here. So just keep brushing it on. And once you get it all on there, it takes about 30 minutes, roughly 20 to 30 minutes to start working. You'll notice the vinyl will start to peel up. You can already see some of the paint starting to kind of come loose and come off. So it's relatively quick acting. It's not going to take you all day. And you'll start to see the vinyl bubble up, and that's how you know it's working good. So I'm just going to continue working on this panel. It's going to take about 30 minutes for it to really get going, and once you start to see it peel up, you may need to continue adding coats to certain sections, but we'll just keep going at it. One of the things I found that helps whenever you got the paint on there is if you get just like a painter's knife and just scrape off that paint once it starts to dissolve and strip away. This will help expose the vinyl, which will get the job done a little bit faster. Also, if you're doing this and you don't want to be destroying your floors, you want to cover those up really, really, really well, because this stuff will destroy any flooring that's down there. And then you can see that exposes a lot more of the vinyl. And then we'll just keep adding layers on top of that. Put it on nice and thick to where you get a nice layer of it on there so it really soaks into the vinyl. Alright, so this is what we're looking for. You can see it's starting to peel up, starting to come off. You can get it to kind of move some, and then you kind of hit some spots with resistance. Whenever you get to there, you want to keep applying it. A lot of times around the edges there seems to be it seems to be a little stickier. I think that's partially because of like the window sitting on there, the trim piece putting that pressure, so it may have adhered it a little bit more. So as it starts to peel off, you can kind of figure out the places that you need to add a little bit more of the Jasco to get a little bit more of the adhesive to loosen up. Off it comes. That one came off. But one big sheet, which was actually way easier than the last one. And you can see it almost has like a gold tint to it. That's probably from all of the glue and just the awesomeness that is this stuff. I got a little bit of this on my arms, so I gotta go wash my hands real quick because this stuff burns. Alright, so we got the majority of the vinyl off. And you can see that there's still a couple little spots here and there. There's still some of the adhesive left in tiny little spots, and you can take a little bit more of the Jasco and just kind of brush it onto those spots, help it out a little bit. Some of the spots it wasn't put on 100%. And let it sit a little bit longer. Alright, so we got all the vinyl off of it, and the next step is going to be to take the goof off, and you're going to remove the adhesive. You can see it's kind of this gold color going on here, and that's pretty much all the adhesive on there. We're gonna strip that off with the goof off. So a piece of metal where somebody stuck a screw through there sticking out. So we're just gonna put some goof off on a paper towel or a rag. We'll just start wiping on the metal. You'll notice it's going to start coming off. You can see it there on the rag. Putting the goof off on the rag, just see that yellow adhesive is just coming off. Takes a little bit of scrubbing, but you know, it's getting off there. Alright, so we got pretty much all of that adhesive off and all of kind of the leftover stuff with the goof off. There's a few spots in the corners and by the rivets that I didn't go too crazy on because I'm going to be pulling the panels and I'm going to finish it off once I get it off so I can get in around where the rivets are and everything. So if you're pulling the panels, you don't have to be 100%. If you're going to leave it all together, then you're going to want to clean up all those little areas. So the next step is then you're going to get the mineral spirits and put some on a towel, and then you're just gonna wipe all of the remaining residue off. As you can definitely tell that there's some residue left from the goof off. You're just gonna wipe all of that. It doesn't take a lot of scrubbing. You can just kind of wipe it all off pretty easy, and it really starts to show the aluminum good at this point. It's starting to really look good. Alright, and then the last and final step is going to be using your WD-40. Kind of the same thing as a paint thinner. You're just going to apply it to the rag and just wipe the surface real good with it. And this will give it that final layer of cleaning and a little bit of a polish and a little bit of protection on it. So. And there you have it. There it is, looking just like the brand new aluminum when they first put it in there.